What is happening? I hope y'all are doing well, man. It's the end of the year. The end of the year is amongst us, and I'm doing a show with Chill Rock. For those of you that don't know, shout out to Chill Rock, and we're doing this year-end wrap-up Grammy style, underground rap show, and I'm really excited about doing it. We were supposed to do it this past weekend, but we ended up pushing it back. People are busy right now with the holidays and everything. We want to let that simmer down a little bit, and we're probably going to do it that first weekend in January. So y'all be ready for that. That's super exciting. And we're going to be going over a plethora of best of the years, right? Best song of the year, verse of the year, album of the year, artist of the year, new up and coming artist of the year, artists to watch out for, all that stuff, right? And I'm excited to do that. But one thing that we're not going to be talking about on that show is production. The reason that we're not going to be talking about production, and that isn't something that was brought up between the two of us when we were going back and forth about what awards we were going to be giving out, is because not a lot of credence goes into the producers of the underground. So that left me thinking, man, one thing that I don't want to get slept on and overlooked this year that I really want to double down on, because I've already said it a few times, is the production skills of Tom MacDonald. You can say what you want to say about Tom MacDonald. You can think what you want to think about Tom MacDonald. I'm a fan. I think that he's super dope. I think he's super talented. I think he's super artistic. But also something that gets slept on with him is his skills as a producer. So if y'all don't mind, I just want to go over a couple of these beats that I've been thinking about recently that are just monstrous, and just give him his credit and his flowers due for his production skills. And ladies and gentlemen, my favorite underground producer this year is Tom MacDonald. He started the year off with Proud to Be a Problem. That was his first album of the year. And with Proud to Be a Problem, it had a whole lot of folk, a whole lot of guitar. And at that point in the year when this was being released and when he was rolling this album out, I thought to myself, that's actually pretty dope. Even though that's not my favorite style of music, I think that that's super dope that he's able to cross over in this way. And I think that it's artistic that he continues to do most of it on his own accord, if not all of it. I'm not quite sure on that. I think it's all of it. But whether it's playing the guitar or coming up with a riff or coming up with a melody, he really killed that on Proud to Be a Problem. And that was the first Tom album that I purchased. No, that's not true, actually. GFBF was the first. It was the first solo Tom album that I purchased. And I was super impressed not only by the production on the album, even though it wasn't my favorite style of music. I was also heavily impressed by his ability to go in and out of subject matter, right? Like, I think a lot of people thought that album was going to be very heavily political. And I actually don't think it was. I think there was a lot on that album that people slept on, because by the time The Devil is a Democrat comes out, I remember a consistent bunch, whether it be on Reddit or whether it be on X, that were saying, I'm tired of hearing the political stuff. And I was like, well, to be fair, he just put out a whole album and most of it was not political. But I think that it's important to talk about Proud to Be a Problem here, because when he started the year off with Proud to Be a Problem, a lot of people were wondering probably, is he going to rap this year? Or is this it? Is this what we're getting this year? And then he took a long, very much needed break. So we thought. During this break, he felt this inspiration and this ambition, and he got that feeling in the pit of his stomach that, when rappers get that feeling in the pit of their stomach, they got to rap. And he rapped enough to give you 2 projects, both projects being solid, grade A rap music with No Lies and Truth Hurts. And even though there is a lot of political subject matter within the raps on these two projects, it wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't enough to make me say, oh, that's too much. And you could tell that it was passion driven. So if it's passion driven, I'm never going to frown upon it anyway, because if the artist isn't passionate about what they're delivering to you, at the end of the day, you're not going to want to listen to it, and it's not going to relate to you. And he drops out of nowhere this record called White Boy Ish, which was the first record gearing back into rapper Tom, which I was heavily excited about. I think if you go back and watch this reaction from me, you're going to find that I love this record. I thought that it was super dope, and it was not political. It was everything that everybody was asking for, really. So the main thing that stuck out to me with this record was the beat. Peep it.
White boy, got it rattling the trombone, boom. Got it blaring out the windows of the whip, vroom, vroom. This that white boy, this that 911. White boy, got it rattling the trombone, boom. Got it blaring out the windows of the whip, vroom, vroom. This that white boy, this that 911, boom, boom.
And what you go to, what you will come to find throughout the progression of all of it is that the beats were crazy. And when the song came out, it had mixed reviews. It was a lot of people that were saying more of the same. Most people were saying that they loved it. I was one of the people that loved it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was dope. I thought it was a bass thumper. You know what I mean? Something you just ride to, something you play in the gym. And I thought it was a step in the right direction, right? I was like, yeah, this is the direction. At this point in time, I was constantly saying in all my reaction videos to him, I was like, man, I can't wait. I hope he drops like a God Mode 2 type joint. You know what I mean? And I was waiting for it. And then the very next song that he drops was this.
The propaganda is on every channel. They think we stupid like the truth is just too hard to handle. Put on your camo, it's a culture war and load the ammo. They want Antifa ruling everything like it's Seattle. And they want anyone who's fighting to be dead and canceled. They want rainbows in the classrooms and 15 different bathrooms and white guys that hate black dudes. They want war, they don't want peace. They want fentanyl in our streets. They want borders to be weak. I swear the devil lives in California. He a politician. He passing bills that bring chaos and division. Yeah, the devil lives in California. Should be in prison. He got horns, but he tries to keep them hidden. Cause the devil is a Democrat. And we don't play that. They say that.
Yeah, and that beat right there, that's probably my favorite beat of the year. So going back into the production side of things, I just wanted to make a video where I'm celebrating his production skills because I feel like I wanted to dedicate a video to it. Because I really feel like a lot of the production value of these records gets lost because we celebrate these artists and we celebrate the records that they put out. We celebrate their message. We celebrate who they are as men, women, whatever. And I just think a lot of times that the production value of things gets lost. And I really feel like he knocked it out of the park with that production. That's gotta be my favorite beat of the year. Best bop of the year. Like I gotta give it to him, dude. He really went crazy with that beat. And then the unfortunate passing of Charlie, and he was able to switch it up and put out something that was much more subtle with his single Charlie. And that was very understandable, of course. Like we're let's reroute, do something big, do something for TPUSA, do something to raise some money that we can, so he can show support in his way. And I also tip my hat and salute that. And then after that, he drops Woke World. The production on Woke World it's slept on, man. It's not one of the beats that's knocking and makes you think like, wow, but just the overall production of it, the instrumentation of it, the beat itself, and the melodies that he produced in wrapping that all into one record. I really like it, man. I think it's super good. And I think that after that, we got All My Haters, and then we get Equality as far as music videos are concerned. But what I wanted to tell all of you guys, man, is when you get the album, and once you have the album, the beats that are on that album mimic heavily The Devil is a Democrat, All My Haters. And like, it's just, it really is, it dawned on me this year especially after going through his back catalog over the previous year, that his skills as a producer, I mean, they supersede they supersede a lot of producers out there today, even in the mainstream, right? And that's where the mainstream normally wins, right? Like they don't have better artists, and they force you, they force those artists to put out these messages that nobody really resonates with anymore, and it's not real. It's like a farce. And normally what you love in the mainstream is the production. The production being the beat, the melody, the all-around record that was put together and sent out. And I just think that Tom MacDonald has earned, in my humble opinion, Tom MacDonald has earned his place amongst the greatest producers in the world right now, with all of these beats / melody / just the entire production of everything, and putting these albums out. I don't know if people have really done it better this year. I gotta tip my hat to Pharrell, because what Pharrell did with the clips on the Clips album was also insane and unprecedented. Every beat on there is slick, it's fire. But man, I really feel like Tom just really did his thing with the production on these two albums. So I wanted to salute him, tip my hat to him. I don't want to make a super drawn out video here, but to me, I gotta say, my producer of the year is Tom MacDonald. And if you want to hear more about what my favorites of the year are, just tune in. It's either going to be January 3rd or January 4th. Me and Chill Rock are going to be getting together, and we're going to be doing a Grammys for the underground rap scene. So I hope I get to see you guys there. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe and like and all that stuff so that you see it and it comes across your channel when that time does come. And thank you guys for helping my dreams to come true and helping the channel grow. And I appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all on the next one. All right. Peace.